That was a great episode.
There's a Saturday Night Live skit.
Those, can anybody on GoToMeeting hear me?
Suffocate.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm trying to fold some laundry and it's quite loud.
Oh, it is 7 o'clock. So we'll quit the howdy doody
This
talk.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the City Council of the City of Escalon, regular meeting of December 7th, 2020. Would you please join me in the salute to our flag? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Crumick?
Here.
Councilmember Merkin?
Here.
Councilmember Legero?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Alves?
Here.
And Mayor Swift.
Here. Okay, it looks like tonight we'll be starting with the consent calendar. The consent calendar, these items are considered routine in nature and are acted upon by a single action unless requested by an individual council member or member of the public for special consideration. For example, regarding item number 2, I will be abstaining from voting on check numbers 9753 and 9757.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar in its entirety. We'll proceed directly to a voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Consent calendar passes in its entirety, 5-0. Staff communications.
Just wanted to let the council know regarding the sidewalk issues that were brought up at a previous meeting. Staff is working on it, and we're working with some property owners. And we are going to plan to bring that back to on the January 19th meeting. Hopefully have a plan in place regarding the sidewalk issues. And then the Christmas on Main Parade and movie night, we still will be proceeding with those. We have taken all the necessary safety precautions on those, so we are still good to go with those. They do have the house decorating contest too, and we have posted that online, so the police department is actually going to be using their drone to go and take pictures of each of the houses that are in the decoration competition, and then we're gonna post that video so people that can't get out have an opportunity to see them also. They're also gonna use the drone to video the parade too. So, very excited to be able to be a part of that. And that is all I have tonight.
Okay.
And no one.
Let's see, Dominique, Chief, are there any questions from the council to the staff regarding these or any of the other staff communication items? No? Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed to matters presented from the audience. Not this time. The public may address the city council on any item not on the agenda that is within the authority of the council. Speaker is limited to a maximum of 5 minutes, and I do believe we're on go-to meeting as well, and on people can also call in as well. So let's go, first of all, with any comments or questions from the, I want to say studio audience. I've been watching too many SNL. Anybody from the audience in here tonight? No? Okay, how about go-to meeting? Nope. Okay, how about phone? No? Okay. Well, then we will move on to the public hearing. Item number 4, let's see, Tammy, Dominique, who is
Tammy.
this? This is Tammy's, okay.
Yes. So Mayor and Council, tonight is a public hearing regarding our annual report for AB 1600 fees. California Code Section 6600,000 through 66008, commonly referred to as AB 1600, requires that local agencies that collect fees from developers as a condition of development hold a public hearing on an annual basis to report the amount of fees collected and expenditures made from these funds. The report was completed and made available to the public on November 19th, meeting the requirement the report be available to the public at least 15 days prior to city council meeting. It provides specific information regarding the types of development fees, their amounts, purposes, balances, interest earned for each, and current and ongoing improvements funded by the various fees.
Tammy, please, I apologize, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Oh,
is
no
that
problem.
what's on the screen right now, or do we still have the front page of the agenda? And the only reason I want to try to get that on there is because,
You're
well,
right. You're
it's an
absolutely
agenda item, but
correct.
also a public hearing as well, so,
Yes, yes.
great, thank you.
Thank you for reminding me. So the fees referenced in the report are development fees only. They're not user fees. They are one-time fees assessed of new development in accordance with the California State Annual Reporting Requirements. Staff has prepared the following exhibits. Exhibit A is a brief description of the development impact funds. Exhibit B is a summary of the current and past fees, beginning and ending balances for each fee account. Total fees collected, interest earned, total expenditures from each account for fiscal year 2019-20. And Exhibit C is a summary by fund of public improvement projects on which fees were expended during fiscal year 2019-20.
Okay. See, this is a public hearing, and looks like we're not looking for a decision tonight, or?
No, there's no action needed on the item. It's just made available during a public
Okay.
hearing for any public comment.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and go right into the public hearing. And are there any comments from the audience that is present with us, or go-to meeting, or the phone? And I want to give go-to meeting the phone a second to chime in, because sometimes it takes a second, so. Okay, seeing none, what I'd like to do now is close the public hearing and bring it back for council, and if council has any questions or comments.
Well, my comment is I'd move on staff's recommendation.
I don't think that this needs,
No,
yeah,
yeah, that, we don't have to do an action, just make it available
Yeah.
to, during a public hearing.
okay. Very, very good. Are there any comments from the council then, before we move on? No? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move on to presentation. And that's all me?
That's on you, man.
That's all me? I didn't write a speech. Well, I'd like to have Councilmember Merkin stand up, please. And before I get up and I start yelling really loudly, I'm going to keep my voice for a second and just say, as you know, he is retiring from city council, okay? And we thought it'd be very appropriate to give you a little plaque in recognition to hang on your wall as a reminder of your years on city council. Now, you started, this wasn't your only term. You were also on council, I believe, from what, 2002, 2010? And I believe you were mayor from 9 through 10, correct? Okay, that's the gavel. Anyway, and then you decided to come back in 2016 because it was such an easy and fun job. And but his service has been very valuable here. And one thing I'd really like to point out, in addition to your work with COG and your work on the council and as a council member, one thing in fact, I just noticed it again today. You know, on Facebook and social media, there are a lot of situations where, citizens from the community will have questions regarding why is the city doing this, why is the city doing that. And one really special thing that Councilmember Merkin has done many times, and again, today as well, is to engage those individuals and say, listen, have you talked to the city staff yet? No, that's a good idea, or no, I need to. And so I think that you're doing that has become an invaluable link between the council, the city, and the community. And it really humanizes the relationship that we have with the community, because we are all one, we're all in the same boat. We're all, members of the community as well. And I think that by you doing that as often as you have, I think has really helped an awful lot in terms of just, again, emphasizing we're all Escalonians, we're all in this together. And so I thank you for that, in addition to your many years of service for the city of Escalon.
Thank you.
Posterity here.
There you go.
Who was that masked man? Yeah.
You want one with our masks off, or are we okay? We'll just hold our breath for a second,
Yeah, we can.
okay? This will get us in trouble.
I'm sure.
There we go.
Walt, again, thank you very much for everything that you've done for the community of Escalon, and especially in this capacity as a council member. It's not an easy job, and thank you very much for everything you've done.
Well, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure to serve the city, and I thank the citizens of Escalon for putting that trust in me. And I appreciate working with this council and my previous council members, Carrie. I think some of our federal legislators and our state legislators might take a look at the smaller cities down here, because although we don't agree on everything, we all walk out of this room amicably, and we always have our citizens as the primary concern. And I think that's lacking in some of our upper echelons of government.
So,
That's good, thank you.
Great. Walt, again, thank you very much for everything you've done. And now, we have some oaths of office to do. So Tammy, I'm going to turn it over to you, okay, because we're going to do a little bit of a dance up here with a couple of council members, and so I think I'm going to let you lead the dance. How's that?
Okay, so I'm going to ask Jeff Legero and David Bellinger to come up, and I am going to give them their oath. So if you guys step down, I'm going to have them do it up here.
You steady for this, Dave?
Yeah.
When the music stops, they all
Oh,
gonna
by the way, can I, just a second, how many like Dave in his blazer? Looks good in it, doesn't he? Right?
Thanks, Robert.
Sorry.
All right. So if you both will raise your right hand for me. I state your name, do solemnly swear
I, David Bellinger, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies,
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the State of California,
there you go, that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation and purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
All right, you guys are good. Congratulations. And let's do the same. You gentlemen, if you will stand up there, we'll take one more picture. Maybe hold your breath with out your mask. On three. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. Okay, and David, you can take seat here.
Okay.
You can go get it if you have it.
Walt left me something right with, so we're good.
Okay. Okay, council members, now we have a decision to make, and these are the nominations for the mayor, and following that, the mayor pro tem. So I am looking for a nomination for mayor.
I would like to make a motion. I would move that Councilmember Ed Alves be nominated as mayor.
I would second that.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded to nominate council member Mayor Pro Tem Ed Alves to be the next mayor for the city of Escalon. Is there any discussion of the motion on the table? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion passes 5-0. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, I think we're going to switch.
All right.
As your mayor,
Okay.
I'm going to grab my,
Then we're gonna do Mayor Pro
Wait.
Tem.
Right.
I'm going to grab my toys and. Hmm? Should I? No, I. It's not sanitized, though. That's true. You'll find out.
All right. The agenda. So now.
Ed, your C was a little low, huh? Okay.
All right, so now we're going to have a nomination. I don't see it anywhere on the paperwork yet, but I don't need this.
It's on the screen on 7.
There you go. Okay, we're going to move on to the pro tem. We need a nomination for our pro tem. I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'd like to make a quick comment. You know, the mayor and the mayor pro tem, they're a team, and they work together in unison, and I cannot think of anybody who would be a better complement to keep the waters as calm as possible, along with Mayor Alves, than Councilmember Jeff Legero, and therefore I nominate Councilmember Jeff Legero for mayor pro tem.
Excellent. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion, a second, for Pro Tem Legero. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, so where's that move us on to? I'm a little rusty at this.
Appointments list.
So item 8,
Item 8, consider the, oh, we're gonna pass on that. We're gonna do it next meeting.
well, you'll have to make that motion to have
right.
it.
Can I make that motion?
Well, I'll make that motion.
There you go.
That we move to postpone the 2021 local appointments list until the next meeting.
Next meeting.
Okay, this item will be continued.
Second that.
Second.
I'll second, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, council communications. Let's start with David.
Well, I'd just like to say, thanks for everybody putting their trust in me to, hopefully continue the trend of our great little city here, and, yeah, let's just keep the wheels turning on what we've got going on so far. It's been a great experience when I subbed for Peter earlier in the year, and, look forward to continued, growth in our city.
You good?
I'm good.
All right, okay, let's have Peter, please.
I'd say congratulations to Dave for getting involved, and he was at, a ton of meetings beforehand, which is what I tried to do to learn the process and learn what's going on. Congratulations to Ed for becoming mayor. Congratulations to Jeff for being mayor pro tem. I think a little bit about what's going on in the country right now, and it's kind of interesting. It seems like every 10 years there's some crazy thing that goes on. You got September 11th, 2001, you got the Great Recession, and 8 and 9, and now we got COVID in 20. And I just think, every challenge that the country goes through at the federal, state, local level, we all get through it eventually, and everybody learns from it, even though it's challenging at lots of different levels. And I would just say let's continue to work together and persevere. And I think that everything will come out stronger in the end. So that's what I would say.
You good?
I'm good.
Councilman Roberto.
Okay. First of all, congratulations, Councilmember Bellinger and Mayor Pro Tem Legero, and then Mayor Alves. Yeah, we are going to be proceeding with the Christmas Sunday activities. They're going to be a little bit different this year, but we've had a really hard working group of people working very hard on this. And again, your own city manager Tammy Alcana has been one of them. I hope we're going to have a great turnout. Are we okay as council with being a entry in the parade? I think talk to everybody. Peter, are you okay with that too?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So we'll get the float all decorated up and.
And I guess one thing that I didn't say, for those that don't know, the parade is being done in reverse. So your parade participants are stationary and people viewing are driving by. That's how we're keeping it with the social distancing and along the line. So just a quick note of that.
Okay. And by the way, I also want to give a big thank you for all of Sonia Huff's work and also Walt's wife, Debbie
Yes.
Merkin. I mean, she's taken on such a huge load with this year to help make this a great weekend for the city of Escalon. So, and I think it will be. That's it.
Robert, thank you. I guess it's Pro Tem's turn here. What we got, buddy?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
First of all, thank you, everybody. Appreciate returning to the council here for another term. It's been a pleasure serving the city. It's been an honor. Walt, it's been great working with you, and I think you summed it up very nicely. We are a group with our own individual, ideas and thoughts, but we can hammer them out, and if there's a disagreement, we work through it. And, most of the votes here are 5-0 because we take the time to voice our opinions and come up with the right solution to the problem and move forward. So I appreciate what you brought to the council, and I'm sure you're going to continue to be a voice that we look to, just like Gary and past council members that we look to for advice and input. So thanks again for your time. Congratulations, Ed, on mayor again. I think, what is this, number
4?
4? Yeah, that's a good number. I look forward to some really good things with your leadership. Congratulations, David.
you.
Well done, tough campaign.
Hard fought campaign there.
Peter, welcome back again. Good to have you here. And I just want to finish with Robert. So the last 2 years as mayor have not been simple, smooth, nothing going on in the city. And I think Robert did as good a job as any human could have done to keep the community informed, to keep them together, to hear both sides or multiple sides of an issue, and to let things work through however they are going to work out. His leadership kept things calm. He was able to participate in events or allow participants in some events that might have been controversial to have their voices heard, to exercise their constitutional rights, and to do everything he could to make sure that this city didn't inflame issues or make things worse. So I don't think he could have done a better job with the myriad of issues that came up, and I think you just handled them perfectly. So I really appreciate your leadership and what you've done to get us through the last couple years. So thank you again for everything you've done for the city.
Thank you very much. That means an awful lot to me, so thank you very much.
You've earned it. I mean, it was not an easy 2 years, so really, it's much appreciated.
Thank you.
That's all I got. Thanks.
All right, good enough. The first thing I want to do is I want to take a couple seconds here in silence for December 7th. For those who fought for our lives and died, I would like to recognize them. And let's give it like a 10-second silence here for us, please. I'd like to start off by thanking everyone who showed up this evening, my family, my friends, those who don't like me, whoever. Thanks for coming and showing some interest in our community. It's important that you do this. It just adds to what we already have as a great community. Robert, I can't say enough about what you did. I mean, we're two different people, but I admire the way you did your job.
Thank you.
And I would say that if there was a bonus out there, I'd give it to you. But you're out of luck. Walt, you've always been a standby, take care of kind of guy. You've always been there for us, and that's deeply appreciated. I think the community recognizes who you are and what you've done for us. I don't think we need to tell anybody. I think it's pretty obvious. David, glad to have you on board. I think you're a great addition. I'm looking forward to good things from you and your input. Peter, the same thing. Both you young gentlemen, I'm hoping that you're going to stay a couple terms and add to the community's benefit. I really believe in both of you. I think you both will do a great job as time goes on. And you're already doing a great job. I'm not suggesting you're not. My pro temp is like, you couldn't ask for a better deal. I respect Jeff's ability to do the things that sometimes I'm incapable of doing, like not being excited. He does a great job filtering and getting to the point where we can get through what we have to sometimes. Sometimes I get a little excited. I get frustrated, and then he brings me down to earth, which is good. I'm looking forward to this next 2 years. I'm hoping to make some major impacts with this council. It's one of the best councils I've ever had the privilege of being on, and we have one of the best staffs we've ever had. So in the combination of this great council and this great staff we have, I'm looking forward to have senior housing, affordable senior housing, before my term's up. That's our goal here. In addition to bringing new businesses in this town so we can get some more tax revenue coming in a way that's not a negative impact on our community. And anybody out there that's got a recommendation or suggestion, I'm all ears. Don't be afraid to offer suggestions, because I heard one time it said there's no such thing as a stupid question. So, you know, ask those questions. Let's find out what we can do to make this community a little more fluent with some revenue with new businesses. And I'm sure staff, along with this council, are going to be as mobile, as flexible as possible to get this to happen. You know, Robert, I feel like you cheated us. I thought I'd get more out of you tonight than we did. You did so much. And one of the things you did, Robert, I really admired is the fact that you kept everybody in the loop. You're on that whatever you do with TV thing you're doing. And I want to commit to a position in the city council where we have somebody as an informationals officer, and I think you're the person. Because the people in this town respect what you did, and I hear a lot about how they love to know what's going on, and you seem to be able to get that across to them. So if this council's not opposed to it, I would like to create that position and appoint Robert to it, if there's no opposition this evening.
None here.
No, I'd second
So
that.
basically, Robert,
Okay.
I would like you to go through the council
Yeah.
before you put out what you're putting out and confirm we're on the same page. And the people really did enjoy it, Robert. I get a lot of good feedback about that from people.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And it's not something I'm good at, but you are very good at it. You always have been.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I mean, again, it means a lot to me. Thank you very
Well,
much.
You deserve it. What else was I think I pretty much covered all I needed to cover for this evening. I want to thank everybody again for coming, and those who would like to stay, there will be some cupcakes and some champagne, and help yourself to it, and thanks again for coming. And this, I hope we have a very prosperous 21st year, 2021. All right, thank you. Meeting adjourned.